English translation 681st Contact Wednesday, the 17th of May 2017, 1804 hours.
Here I am, my friend. Was just in the kitchen having a coffee when I picked up your call. But I am happily surprised to see you come here once again. Be welcome and greetings.
Thank you, and also greetings. Yes, my coming here is surprising for you, because actually I had agreed with Ptah that I would not come here again until the month of July. I changed my mind, however, because I wanted to look at the construction that has been built in the meantime as a protection against the bird plague, as Ptah has told me, and made visible through records. Therefore, I also looked more closely at the construction and found that a more solid roof shape was necessary instead of a tarpaulin cover, which is why I looked around for suitable earthly materials and found a suitable product that you should use as a cover. It is a material, if you want to write it down right away, called Biaxol, which is the equivalent of a glass-bright PVC light panel in stretched form and is sold under the name Solux, in sizes from 150 to 195 centimeters wide and 27 meters long. It would also be largely hail-proof up to approx. 4 centimeters thick hailstones. Think about it, because it would certainly be the best solution. For now, though, I am going to have a look around the center premises, together with others of us who are also here to move around the premises. After that, I will then come back around 22 o'clock HRS.
Have a good time then, and kind greetings to the others. See you then, 2148 HRS. Ah, this is a surprise. You are all very welcome, and of course I greet you, and am also pleased to see you all. Are you comfortable on the sofa? Perhaps we could go somewhere else, perhaps to Ptaya's pergola if it is too crowded for you here.
Greetings, my friend. It is a pleasure to see you. Yes, it is a bit cramped here in your workroom, which is why we thought we would go to Quetzal's compound, where we can sit and talk comfortably in front of his house.
This is the way we discussed it. I suppose we can take an hour or a little longer to talk, though we want to be among ourselves, and the private things we will discuss will not be called out by you later, and will not be recorded in a report of the conversation, but only what we will have to discuss of significance for the time being.
Edward, I also greet you, and it is a great pleasure to see you again.
It is truly my pleasure to see and greet you. Quetzal, of course I will later retrieve and write down only that of our conversation which is not of a private nature. I can go over now then when you open the gate.
We want to, and here we are also.
Would be nice if I could use a gate like that on Earth too, then I would not have to drive around in a car.
You like to joke, but listen to what Yanarara and Zafanatpaniach have to say about the strange occurrences that have been going on for years, mainly in your workroom, in a disturbing way.
What we have to report can be explained by Yanarara, because she is the one who is mainly responsible for the investigations and researches that have taken place and are still going on.
As Zafanatpaniach and I explained to you at our meeting 3.5 months ago on the 3rd of February, the whole of all the strange occurrences was a mystery to us, which was only resolved when we were able to detect a foreign and to us unknown energy or swinging wave with unusually strong forces, which was able to penetrate our 3 different protective shields set up around your center.
Please, Yanarara, explain the whole thing in a simple and understandable way for me, because I am not educated in physics, etc., and therefore not a luminary regarding swinging waves and their forces, etc., but only superficially somewhat versed in this relationship. Just a little general education, which is not sufficient to be able to talk shop. So I would like to ask you not to talk shop, but simply to explain everything in simple terms.
I would like to do that and explain what is necessary in simple words. After a long period of research, we were able to register unknown and extremely strong energies that had a great similarity with each other. These energies formed swinging waves and forces that were extremely aggressive, but we were only able to analyze them precisely in the course of the last 3 months, because we did not know their nature at first, and could not determine what the causes were. We quickly realized that they were not natural planetary energies, swinging waves and forces, nor were they artificially or technically generated, but they remained mysterious to us at first. For this reason, we convened a special research with a special research group of specialists, which consisted of Ahrens and Sonern, and also continues to exist. Finally, the solution to the riddle was found, namely that the energies unknown to us and their swinging waves with their dangerous forces are based on Earth-human consciousness swinging waves, in the form of unimaginably powerful consciousness forces, which now had to be fathomed. We were finally able to analyze these unknown energies and swinging waves and their forces, and in doing so, we were also able to ascertain that it is mainly a matter of 5 different types of energy and swinging waves of different strengths, whereby the 2 strongest ones can penetrate the 3 protective shields uninhibitedly and trigger the disturbing and harmful phenomena, which are very detrimental and dangerous and also cause unrest and discord. And these energies and their swinging waves are brought about by the forces of consciousness and thus by the forces of thought of the great mass of Earth humans who are addicted to thoughts and feelings of religious faith, and who in this way unconsciously and thus without their knowledge attack through their forces of consciousness everything that is not compatible with their delusion of religious faith. In this way, all unpleasantness in the center is triggered, precisely by the religious believers caught in religious streams of consciousness and thoughts, or by their forces of consciousness. In this way, the energies, swinging waves and forces released by religious belief, that is to say, the belief in God, become aggressive, dangerous and damaging for everything rejecting the belief in God, that is to say, the belief in religion, and thus work against all efforts which are directed towards the effective reality and truth of that every belief in God and gods and creators, etc., only correspond to pure fantasies which have neither a reality nor truth content. And since you and the members of your grouping are now doing exactly what is being attacked by these energies, swinging waves and forces, namely to bring Earth humans to reality and to teach them the truth which alone is given in reality, the main aim of the aggressive and very powerful religious belief energies and their swinging waves and forces is directed towards the center in order to have a dangerous and harmful effect. So we have been trying for some time now to find ways to neutralize these energies, swinging waves and the forces arising from them and acting on themselves towards the 3 protective shields of the center, but unfortunately we have not succeeded so far. Because we are moving in a completely foreign area in this respect, which has been absolutely unknown to us until now, and will probably take a long time to find a solution.
So then this is the state of affairs today, which is not exactly pleasing, but must probably be accepted and inspire us to pursue our mission even more intensively, and to teach the human beings of Earth how fundamentally wrong all religions and sects are. Unfortunately, however, it is so that the teaching of the human beings of the Earth as a rule only acts like individual fertile grains, germinates, grows and grows into fruit when they are scattered, because the entire gigantic ground surface of the Earth is only fertile in the tiniest places where individual tender little plants can sprout and develop. As a rule, the entire gigantic bulk of the human beings of the Earth either have deaf ears as a result of indifference, consequently the teaching of the truth, teaching of the spirit, teaching of the life simply goes unheard as if in an endless desert, or they are so stupid that they simply live indifferently into the day. But it may also be that a bulk of the majority is megalomaniac and so self-centered and self-important that it presumes to be more knowledgeable, more powerful, and more perfect than perfection itself. But as far as religious sectarian belief is concerned, in connection with strange and also harmful occurrences that bring some trouble, I think that human beings can also be influenced by it. What do you think, Zafanat Paniach, or you, Yanarara, who are concerned with these factors? Since you have been able to analyze the religious sectarian energies, swinging waves and forces that permeate your protective shields that you have put on us, as Ptah told me recently,
Your voice sounds troubled, my friend. But what you say is an indisputable fact, as I know from all the information available to me in this regard. And before you ask, the various energies and their swinging waves and forces are 5 different forms, which are also of different strengths, about which I will give you further explanations later.
You mean because of...
Yes, that is what I mean, because it is probably better if you do not say it, because it could be dangerous concerning the as a result of the fanaticism of the and the.
Aha, I see. Thanks for the warning. By which I take your words to mean that in taking in and writing down the account of the conversation, I should leave out that of the and the...
Exactly. But what you are referring to with regard to the influence on human beings, this is indeed so, for every religious as well as the actual sectarian belief impairs both the intellect and the reason of human beings, which results in logical reasoning becoming impossible. This means, however, that reality can neither be effectively perceived nor judged as such by those who have fallen prey to faith, and thus also that the true truth cannot be recognized and understood. Every belief, whether religious, sectarian, or of any other kind, corresponds to a conviction, whereby this corresponds to an educated opinion which cannot withstand any firm, unshakable verification of a fact with the object of direct experience and learning which can be grasped in reality.
It is therefore not a matter of certainty, but of an opinion fact that is placed above the ascertainable reality or reality and testifies against it. Consequently, a conviction arises. That is to say, a one or self-created opinion that corresponds to nothing other than something assumed, presumed, or an unprovable belief, and thus not to the reality of reality.
This is absolutely correct, because every form of belief corresponds to something unreal, which is not based on effective facts, evidence and facts, but on imaginative wishful thoughts and corresponding feelings, the contents of which are coveted, declared to be dear, approved, and, above all in the context of religious convictions, are described as a basic attitude of trust, whereby reality is overloaded with false wishful thoughts and feelings, thus creating a condition through which an assertion, way of thinking, attitude, and thus a false view and a false opinion are placed over reality, that is to say, over actuality and its truth. This is how you yourself also describe it in your teaching.
The whole thing is indeed distressing and a misery.
A true word, but there should now be enough talk in this matter. Let us therefore move on to more pleasing words, for I have